Welcome. So today I am looking at that little heater and cooktop that I could use powered with candles and just seeing if it works or how it works. I'm probably not going to let it burn very long, partly because I haven't had time to remove this glue from the top of this thing, and I'm really not wanting to poison myself with chemicals. So what I'm going to do actually to test is run this against that. So this thing right now is 71 degrees Fahrenheit. And this little metal thing here is also 71 degrees. It's this was 71.7, this is 71.1. They feel different to me, but that's okay. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully this works. Well, we'll just test it on my arm. Oh, good. Yeah, my arm is through my sleeve is like 88, 87, something like that. Okay, so I feel better. Now, I used this a few years ago to try alcohol stoves, to try making my own little alcohol burner, and I used vodka because that is what I had, and it actually made quite a bit of smoke and smell. So I haven't tried since. And in the meantime, I've learned that it doesn't matter what alcohol you use, although it doesn't, if you get like denatured alcohol or you get heat alcohol in the yellow container, it's not going to make much in the way of fumes, but it will make water and it will make some soot on the bottoms of your pans. So the inside of this actually has some soot, which is part of why I don't mind using it for this experiment, because this is kind of the one that I experiment with. And part of what I'm going to do now is just see how many tea lights I fit in there comfortably. Probably maybe 4. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good, a good number. There's a cat over here that is having some issues, these 2 kitties, but there's another one you can't see who's out of sight, who's actually climbed into a long, skinny box that I really didn't think was big enough for a cat. So it made me laugh. Okay, so I'm going to use a long-handled heater and hope it's... Woo! Woo! Okay, that's really... Wow. Okay. Huh. Woo! Well, we're going to light some candles. Woo! Yeah, that's not working so well, I think. It's still lit and I'm not holding it. So good to be aware. I actually have a canister of water sitting right over here in case things like that happen. Wow. All right, putting the lid on. Wow. Oh, okay, I'm gonna set that up. And I was thinking about, I rewatched the video that I recorded in my last thing, and I actually think I'm going to set this upside down to just really capture all the heat I possibly can with it. And then I'm going to put this on top and cover all those holes on the top. Yeah, that looks good to me. I'm going to move these. These are my favorite candles. They're not the cheapest. I think they're $7 for 50 candles. But they do burn for at least 6 hours, as they claim, and I get fewer headaches and problems with these than I have with cheaper tea lights. So, keeping my cord out of reach, putting that over there. And let's see here. Yeah, they're getting enough air. They're actually staying lit. That was another concern I had. And I'm just gonna see, this was 71 before, and it's actually rising as I watch it. 73.23, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 74. So that's really cool. And this space around the bottom, oh, I'm using the thermometer thingy here, is getting warmer too. Not as fast, thankfully. And I actually, this is a metal surface, and then I have a trivet underneath, and then I have the things on top of that just for heat safety, hopefully. And so again, when I test this for heat, it's already up to 76. So it's warming right up with those 4 candles, and I'm assuming then it'll be putting heat out. Ooh, there's a lot of heat coming out at the top there though. So in the future I may want to cover that top with something. What would I cover that with? Well, well, this is ugly and disgusting, but it'll work. This is my thing that I usually, you can see the bottom actually has some scorch marks on it already. I use this to I used to use it to melt butter for popcorn back when I was in a basement and didn't have a lot of access to a kitchen. And then lately I put water and essential oils in it, and normally it would sit over this little candle and in this little space here, and let out some essential oils. But I'm just going to use it to cover the hole because I don't really have anything better to do that with right now. And that really needs to be cleaned. It's covered in cat hair, and I'm so sorry you're seeing that, but I didn't plan ahead for that piece. And just in case you're interested, what normally sits on top of the little round thing that's the base for all of this is this beautiful teapot that I have here. And I have a strainer sitting in it and have used it quite a bit to make tea in the past. I love this thing. Mostly sits on display now because I have more access to a full kitchen, and I actually have a hot water spigot, which I feel totally spoiled having, but it's very nice for making single cups of tea or hot chocolate and that sort of thing. And it's filtered water, which really matters to me quite a bit. But I love this, and I could definitely see myself putting it over the 4 candles and seeing if that actually heats the water any faster. Get that out of the way, and now I'm going to actually test this again. And it's already 85 degrees on the outside of this. I'm running the thing 86 degrees, 87 degrees. So this is heating right up with only 4 candles, which I'm kind of in awe. I'm actually going to leave this whole portion of the video intact just because then you'll see how much time has passed. It's been like 2 minutes. So that's pretty amazing to me. And then I'm also going to check the metal again, which I did at the beginning just to see. And that's up to 75, 72, I'm not quite sure. 72, so I guess it depends on, I'm just testing different areas. 73. So this is staying fairly cool, and yeah, it's fairly cool to the touch still, which makes me very happy. There. I wonder if that makes any difference. I can still touch these bits. That's not a problem. This, actually, I can feel the heat coming through already, and some there as well. This is pleasant though, and that I would not want to touch for too much longer with my bare hand, actually. Let's see. 93, 95, somewhere in there. So the metal, the cast iron, is really warm already. This is awesome. I can feel the heat coming off of it now. And I feel like turning this upside down has helped to, this part has helped to capture more of that heat as it's rising from just 4 tea light candles. And so what I have is a little round cast iron thing that is made for a tea light or two. And I've managed to fit 4 tea lights in there, and it's round, and it's got a lid that's got holes in it and space for the smoke from the candle to come out. And it's got holes around the base of it to let the fresh air in. And then on top of that, I've actually placed another cast iron thing that has holes all the way through it. So there is space for that to come out, but also for the heat to raise up inside. And this is just your average unglazed clay pot. And I'm using it as a heat sink, as a way to capture the heat from the 4 candles instead of having that heat just go straight up and dissipate somewhere in the ceiling area. This whole thing will warm up and is warming up and will radiate heat out. And then I just added this on top because it's what I had available, and there's a hole, of course, in the top, or what is normally the bottom of the flower pot. And a lot of the heat was escaping there. It was actually really hot, and I didn't want that. And this is made to withstand being over a candle itself. So I thought that was a good plan. So I'm just going to test this again, and actually at this point I'm going to switch gears and put my pot of water on there while I can still handle the items, so that I can see how long it takes to boil water with 4 candles in a non-cast iron cooked surface thing. All right, so let's see. I'm testing the flower pot with my heat gun again, and it's at 98 and rising as I watch it. Now it's at 99. So that's pretty cool. 99 degrees here. And this, now I'm testing the cast iron. 102. It's not too much warmer than the flower pot, actually, 103. But still definitely capturing a lot of the heat that I might have lost around the edges otherwise, which I really like. So I actually am kind of relieved, because if I had to heat a bedroom for tea light candles, I don't feel too badly or too concerned about the air quality having those lit. They will last for a good 6 hours, and again, they're storing heat here and in the cast iron and radiating it out now already, but they would continue to radiate even after the 6 hours was done. So I have a heater. I have a small, it's heavy, so it's not, and breakable, so I wouldn't be backpacking with this necessarily, but if I have a power outage in my house now, I'm not as worried about finding a way to keep myself warm or to have some warmth. And when I get my tiny studio in the backyard, this will be perfect. I'll have heat until I can afford a little tiny wood stove. And like I said, I'm actually going to go ahead and dismantle this already. I know it works. Based on videos I've seen of similar heaters with candles, it will just continue to rise in temperature and put out a whole lot of heat, which is great. I'll finish testing that sometime when I'm actually cold. And in the meantime, I want to boil some water and see how that goes. So I'm taking this top thing off of here, and I actually am curious how much heat I'm losing. So you can see the dot where I'm testing the temperature right at the edge of this thing, and that is 112 versus on the side 103. So I'm glad I had that blocked off, and I'm going to take this off now. That was so cool, and I've got a metal surface, so I'm not too concerned. I actually think I'm going to leave that cast iron on there and put my pot of water on, and this is quite a lot of water. It's enough water for me to make soup for at least 2 people, but I just realized that I forgot the lid, so I'm going to grab the lid, and let's see, what's the starting water temperature with my handy heat gun here? Wonder how to do that. I guess I don't know. I'm reading 70.4, which is basically the temperature in the room. All right, I'm gonna walk away and get the lid. I'll be right back. And wow, there's some smoke actually coming off of something. I'm not quite sure what it's coming off of, but it might be this cast iron here. That's never actually been used for cooking, but I think it's supposed to be pre-treated, so it's got some sort of oil on it. It could also be the pan, for all I know. It's a clean pan, but the smoke stopped, so that's good. Could even just be a little bit of smoke from the candles or something. So I'm actually testing the lid of the pot. You can see the little dot there, and the lid says 72 degrees. I'm going to test the cast iron again. It's up to 109 and rising. Let's see here, I'm watching the temperature rise very slowly. It's at 109.6 right now. Oh, I see what happened. One of the candles actually went out, so I've only got 3 candles actually burning and lit right now. And after seeing what my lighter did the last time, I'm not going to try and fix that. So this has actually gone down from 4 candles to 3 candles. Huh. Good boy. Yeah. All right, I went ahead and relit the 4 candles in there. So I'm gonna go ahead now, it's been a few minutes, I'm gonna test temperatures again. Let's see here, can I just do that so you can see what I'm doing? 74.6. So this is going up very slowly, at least on the top. On the side, it is 90 degrees. On the cast iron, it is 100 degrees. So that's actually gone down just a little bit since I had the flower pot on top of it. And I'm just checking you can see the dot there on the metal. That's supposedly at 78, but it still feels totally cool to the touch. Maybe I can feel the warmth in the air coming out, but not the metal itself. So that's working. I have a very needy kitty. This is Vader. Hi, Vader. Hi, Vader. And I'm gonna let this, oh, hi. I'm gonna go ahead and let this run for a little while longer. I would like to see how long it takes to boil rice, but this is becoming a long video, and what I might just do is turn the video off and let you know in the comments once the water starts boiling, and therefore I would be at that point able to start cooking rice. Oh, there's a cat in my lap. Okay, hi Vader. Yes, I love you. Okay, so yeah, thanks for joining me for this experiment and this conversation, and I look forward to talking with you again soon. Be well.